Start small. Learn a lot. Like, go in and do as much research as you can, but don't let that hold you back from like getting started. And I forgot my third one. Join the NBVA. Once you have kind of got things going, and save up to go to Vegas so that you can see us and learn lots at the convention.
I would say start small, Jen said, but grow at whatever pace you're comfortable with. If you want to go out and find one location a month, find one location a month. If you only want to do one every 2 months, that's the beauty of this business. You can scale it exactly whatever speed you're comfortable with. That's what I think is most important. Also, I really try to be budget friendly in the beginning as well, because you don't know if this is going to be for you, honestly. So before you go out and finance, $6,000 machines, maybe try something that's going to be a little bit more beneficial budget-wise for you to see if you like it, because this business requires you to go out and talk to people. You got to go and ask businesses if you can put your machine in their business, and that's not for everyone. So just find out what's going to work best for you, and then kind of plan your growth accordingly.
Great advice.
Good one. So my advice would be, first thing to do is join the Discord. That would be 100% the first thing that I would do if you're new to vending, because there's so many people in there and such free advice and hours of reading and pictures and a lot of help. Secondly, I would start, if my choice, I would start with mini claw machines. That would be my choice of all the types of vending that I would choose from, just because your return on investment is pretty quick. And you can get some at pretty reasonable prices, and it's a great way to get started, and it's a lot of fun to pick toys. And then other advice is grow slow. Don't get too overzealous, because it's definitely worth it to buy a machine, pay it off, buy another machine, pay it off, and work your way slowly instead of too quick, because you can get yourself neck deep pretty fast and all the excitement. So, and then last advice would be 100% join the MBVA, because I think that's the best group of people and in the industry that are going to help you a lot. So those are my things.
Just like Jen and everyone else made the advice, start small. See how you do, feel it out. And I love Jen's advice. If you got a certain company that you like to work with, keep going. That's what I did. I personally like importing my machines because I can get a whole bunch of them for a smaller price. Like, I can pretty much roll them like way faster than ordering in States. So that's my advice. And one last thing would be have fun with this career, because this is one of the coolest jobs I've ever had. And my 5-year mark is coming up here in September. I've been doing this for about 5 years now. And I still wake up, and my wife and I, like, we give each other high fives. Like, we just went out to eat. We were servicing a location today. And after we got done, we were like, can you believe it's almost been 5 years and stuff? And we gave each other high fives. Look at us. I can't believe this is our career. We get to do this every single day. And there is a lot of work behind it. And as you grow, you become more dependent on doing research and doing bigger stuff. If you start out small and you stay small, it's a fun side hustle. But as you get bigger, it is a lot more work, but it's still fun. So enjoy it. Find out if you enjoy it, and enjoy it with your family too.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan from the Howard Hospitality Group. Welcome to another weekly Vending Live. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and we're one night away. Hopefully everybody's got their turkey either brining or patted down or seasoned or whatever you're doing for tomorrow. My hands still smell like seasoning from doing our turkey just a little bit ago. But joining me tonight for this weekly Vending Live is Matt from Galaxy Games 843.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
What's up, guys? Also joining me is Jen from Vend, also president of the MBVA. Welcome, Jen.
Hey, nice to be here.
Hi, nice microphone. Man, that thing is fat. Look at that.
I like it. I like how bright it is.
I think it not only look up. Go ahead. Sorry.
He got the white one, and I love it.
It sounds really good. You do sound 100% better. So I'm glad that you got a microphone. You're a super professional now, which is awesome. We like it when we're super professional on this show because it is very serious. So it's nice that you're keeping up with the Joneses. And one day we're all back. I finally, I think, unpacked my last thing from my backpack this morning before I left the house. Like, that's how busy we've been. And so I want to hear about you guys' weeks. I want to hear what's been going on. I want to revisit IAPA because a lot of people may have missed our really quick live stream we did, but I think maybe go in depth with that. And I want to get started on MBVA. I got 50 tickets to sell tonight that we need to sell before the end of the live broadcast. So get your money ready and get your tickets ready to buy because we're going to be talking about that here in a little bit. But yeah, so who wants to go first this week?
I can.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, I've been just catching up. I had like 4 meetings today. I had the Oregon AMOA and a couple other ones. So just been busy trying to like catch my stride and fit in a little vending, but it's been busy, hitting the ground running.
Yeah, for sure. And it's weird too.
I was so far behind that I hadn't eaten since about 1 o'clock. So I actually have my tomato soup, and I was trying to sneak in some bites because I was just I got home and I was like, oh, I gotta grab something.
That's totally fine. We're not as serious as I was letting on. This is not a very serious live stream. We're all in vending. We're all in the world of eating on the go. Fast food, and I'll talk about that today because we had a long day today. But what about, did you guys have any, like, I had one whole day where I couldn't even, like, move, like, I was so tired. Like, when I got back, I woke up the next day. Were you guys like that too?
It's funny because these shows or whatever you want to call it, these trips, they always make me realize I'm not in my 20s anymore. Like,
yeah,
for real.
Well, and my flight left at 7 in the morning on Friday morning, and which is so I had to get up at what was it, 4 o'clock or so, 4:30 in that morning, 5 o'clock or so, and that our time is like 1 o'clock in the morning. So
It's like going to bedtime. Yeah.
yeah, so I got up at 1 o'clock in the morning our time, and then left and arrived at noon, which is crazy our time. But I was just wiped out. Like, I told her, I said, I got home and I said, I'm just going to relax if that's okay. And she said, yeah. And I just laid in bed and watched TV. I watched your videos, Matt, and I just relaxed. It's really sad when you go from a huge vending conference and then go back, or amusement conference and go back and then start watching amusement videos. Like, that's how diehard we are about this business. But I was, the next day I was toast too. I worked, I think I stayed in bed most of the morning and then finally got up and started moving. But I was kind of, with the jet lag, it really screwed me up. So anyways, well, how was your week, Matt? What did you been up to?
It was good. Being away for the whole week, I was a little behind on some things, so I had to play catch up. Had to service multiple locations to get everything stocked back up, especially in the full line realm of it, as you can imagine. I also had to go and refill up on inventory at Sam's Club. So we loaded up. I mean, spent hundreds of dollars at Sam's Club refilling up the inventory. So that's all good to go. We I filmed a couple videos. So it's been a pretty busy week though.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I came back and I told you I had a day and a half where I was just toast. And then Natalie and the kids were nice enough to service our machines while I was gone. And so that was awesome because I came back and I didn't have to do that till a few days later. So Natalie and we've been doing these little mini dates where we'll go out and service machines. And the biggest thing for us was just getting caught up on a few of our further locations because she didn't go to those. So we went and hit our an hour and a half away route and did all of those together and had lunch and stuff. And then the biggest thing for us is that while I was gone, Pepsi delivered 6 full line vending machines, and so we delivered 4 of those today. So I'm old and not as easily mobile as I used to be, and luckily we've teamed up with Walker Vending, who's near us, and he bought these. They're like piano dollies. I don't know if you've ever seen them or not, but I think that's what they're called.
I wondered because because we had talked about that in Florida, and so did you guys get to use them today?
Yes, and they are the
How
best
well did
thing.
they work?
Amazing.
They worked
So
great.
I got to say, we moved one glass front, so one Bedmax 5800 glass front. We moved, and we moved three or two of the HPVs. You know, the big giant button. You know, they were 12
Yeah.
selection HPVs, and then we moved one of the a 10 selection, or yeah, 10 selection Vendo, and we did it all with those things. And so the only thing that I have to say is that, you know, basically the way they work, which I don't know if you can find them online. I could probably find them here in a little bit while you guys are talking about something else. I'll look them up, but they're the best investment that we ever made for the business. And they make moving. Oh, there it is right there. So let me pop up. Okay, so let's see. That would be this one. Nope. Let's see this one. There it is. Yes.
There you go.
So ours are a different brand than that he bought, but those are exactly what they are. So what's really cool about these, so you can move, like we said, you can move glass front machines with those. You can move regular vending machines with those. You can move, I mean, big claw machines if you wanted to with those, but because they raise up, so you have these little, you know, the little hydraulics on them that you pump, and it lifts up the little lips that are down there at the bottom, and so and then
Good example
yeah,
here.
so yeah, there you go, and they come with the straps already attached, and you just put one in. So that one even has only one on that picture, but what you usually have is two, you know, one on each side,
No, there's
and
two on there. You can't see the other side.
oh, okay, you just can't see it.
You can see its wheels down here.
Are you sure on that one? Oh yeah, you're right. There it
Yeah.
is. Yep, I see now. Sorry. Yeah. So but you can move big things, small things, and once you get it jacked up, it just rolls. The only thing that's hard is that you notice the handles on the top. So those you turn kind of left or right to steer it as you're going. But sometimes if it moves, like when we were going down the ramps and stuff, you have to be really careful to hold those tight, because they'll shift on you, and then all of a sudden it'll like turn left or turn right or just stop because the wheels will go
I'm
like
sure.
totally flat. And but other than that, man, I got to tell you, that was the best investment we ever made. And there's different version of them. Ours are, I think, rated at like 2,500 pounds or something like that, and it was like nothing. I mean, he had for his weightlift room, he had these horse mats, which are like those really thick, heavy rubber mats that we laid over, because we have one of those mesh gate trailers, you know, that aren't the best. So he laid that down, and we were just rolled it right up the trailer, and Sam helped us,
So
and so
that's the one thing I really wondered is how difficult is it to roll a machine up one of those trailer ramps with these dollies?
easy, super easy. The only hard part was, you know, like the ramps are square metal. You know, they're not. You know, they're not smooth. Like if you had a box trailer, it'd be amazing. But usually the box trailers aren't tall enough to do full line machines because they're a lot taller than usually amusement machines are. But the one thing is when we got it up to the trailer, we did have to lift it up on that rubber mat to get it to go up the ramp. But we got it up there, no problem. I mean, once it's rolling, and it was super smooth. So we did park, when we were loading them, we did park. There's a little bit of a ramp sort of that we kind of parked. So the ramp wasn't totally flat, but it was not as big of an angle as you would have normally. And so that helped us a little bit too. But if you're looking into moving these kind of vending machines, we couldn't have done it without it. And I think it's by far, I mean, because you can rent them and they're pretty pricey, or you could buy one. And we moved the 4 machines, the 3 of us, in just a few hours. So 4 or 5 hours total. But we had a lot of drive time because our locations are kind of far away from each other. So if you were doing in town, each delivery only took us about 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, just to get it, roll it off the trailer and bring it in and drop it off. And we'll go back next week and, you know, fill them up and get them all up and running and stuff. But yeah, very cool. So
I was
I
wondering how
really,
big are those horse mats, because that's a really smart way to do it on those mesh
and they're
trailers.
like, and what's weird is that they're heavy as heck. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
how heavy
Is
they
it
are,
like
you know.
an inch one, or is it thicker than an inch?
No, about an inch.
Okay.
and they're thick hard rubber.
Yeah.
It's almost like hard cement, but it's,
We
it
actually
gives a
have a
little.
few of them. I never thought about using that for the ramp.
Yeah, that was brilliant on Brandon's part, coming up with that idea, because he brought it, and that saved us from going duck 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 duck, up the ramp
One of my
and having
warehouse
that.
actually had some of those in it when I moved in, and we just set them off to the side. But that's a good idea. I'll have to grab those.
Well, and a lot, like, we talked to Pepsi about different ideas on how to move, because we've never had to move them before. They've always delivered them for us, and we're like, oh, we'll get one of those, like we were talking about with you, Matt, is one of those kickback, furniture, or, well, they're actually equipment
That's what I
dollies.
have, but it's still, you still have to lift, you still have to do all kinds of
Well, you can't
stuff
get them through
without
the
the ramp.
door.
Well, what
That
about a
was what.
winch? Have you ever thought of adding a winch to the end of your trailer so that it just kind of helps you pull it up the ramp?
That's a good idea too. Or
And
even
what?
some people
But
said
get
even
one with
ratchet
the
straps.
remote. Get one with the remote so that you can kind of control the speed, and then you don't have to have someone there ratcheting
Yeah,
like a ratchet.
That's
yeah,
what
but
Jamie
this,
Farnsworth used to do in his videos. He had a winch at the end of his trailer.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
super fancy.
We
My
used one
dad
for a
even,
kiddie ride. We had a
well,
kiddie
my,
ride. It took 6
yeah,
people to get it into the trailer. So finally we were like, screw this. And so I had Alicia go get her winch and we set it up, and that's what got it up into the trailer, because we could not get this carousel. It kept just spinning on us. And
Yeah.
so
yeah.
we just strapped it to the winch, and then all of us just got it up there.
Well, and even Sam, because I had him, because Brandon and I actually could do it ourselves, no problem. Like, we had no, and actually the second to the last one, he has a pickup, a really nice pickup, and he took off, and there's flooding like where we are right now, and there was water across the road, and I told him, I said, I don't know if I should go through there with the Outback, and as the last thing I need is to, like, bury the Outback in water one day before Thanksgiving. I could see how that would have gone over with Natalie. So I said, I'm going to turn around and go around, and you can go. And he goes, I'm going to go through. And I'm like, okay. So he ended up getting there, like, I don't know, almost 15 or 20 minutes before us, because we had to go the roundabout way. And he already had that unload by himself. So he said the only tricky part I was worried about was, keeping the wheels straight. And he goes, I just sat below it, and it just rolled nice and smooth down to me, and I had it out of there. And I'm like, by himself. He did it in HPV by himself. I'm like, that's awesome. He already had it in the shop set up. It. So we did a couple Les Schwab's today. Is where we have a couple of our drink locations, and then we did what was the first one? So the first one was a Les Schwab, and then we did another tire place, but it wasn't Les Schwab. And then what was the other one? Why is my brain not working? I'll think of it here in a second. But but he did it all by himself. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, that's awesome. So, anyways, we do have we already have a super chat from Waco's Car Wash Channel and more. So I want to hit that real
course.
quick. Hold on one second. Let me find it. There it is.
I like that we don't have to do it this week. Anyway, super chat coming in from Waco's Car Wash Channel, Elevators and More. Man, he is the car wash king. Says last weekend I got 5 car washes, 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
My
Sorry.
boyfriend's truck needs to be washed. Do you want to take it through the car wash for him? He took
Yeah.
it through, and it didn't take all the yellow off, because all our trees are shedding the yellow right now, the pollen. And you want to take it through 5 times, because I think it'll take that much.
Nice. Well, anyway, so that was our first ever delivery of our own. We've done one snack machine in the past, which were way heavier than I ever thought they could be. I didn't realize the snack machines were even that heavy.
Most of the time, snack machines, they're only heavy if they're like a combo, or if they have a refrigeration unit. But if it's just a standard snack machine with no refrigeration, they're usually lighter.
No.
I'm not saying they're light, but they're lighter.
Well, I think when you don't have the right equipment, that was part of it too, because we're dealing with basically putting it on sliders and then getting it onto an actual, like, just a dolly, and wheeling it out and trying to get up into a trailer. Now with these kind of dollies, we're going to be living the life. But it was it was a nightmare. And then in order to get it on the trailer, because of the ramp, we couldn't get it up the ramp. So we had to actually like tilt it down onto blankets and then slide it into the trailer and then lift it back up, so it was heavy. It was heavier than I thought it was going to be. So
So I
anyways,
think I speak for everyone in the comments and everyone that's a subscriber of your channel. I think that you should make a video about these dollies and moving vending machines, because
so,
there's not a lot
so,
of good
so,
videos out there about that.
well, and Sam filmed it today. So he filmed
Oh, good.
everyone but the one that Walker did on his own, because he's that kind of guy. So he,
Good.
but we've got 3 of the 4 done, and then we still have 2 to deliver, and there's 8 more coming. So there'll be plenty of videos of that. And then next week we're doing installations of a couple credit card readers, setting up the machines, programming them, all that kind of stuff. So we got some good stuff coming up. And so, and then Natalie's been bugging me because she wants new videos of her, not old videos of her. So she wants to do we're gonna do some stuff with her. So I'm excited. So it'll be good.
Good.
So
That
yeah,
means more videos coming from HHG.
we hope. So
We hope.
okay, so let's review IAPA. Let's talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, our overall. I've seen so many posts in Facebook about people's opinions of what kind of show it was and what they saw and what they didn't see. So I'd really like to cover that if you guys are game on what we saw and what we learned.
It's kind of funny because you say Facebook, because like Facebook's full of negativity, and I saw quite a bit of
Yep.
negativity, people complaining about
Yeah.
all the IAPA posts. And I'm like, don't you want to know what's going on? Like, I don't. I mean, people just want to complain about anything, I guess. But
I just saw that and I think a lot of the people that posted, honestly, that I saw, I didn't even go. They just saw other
no, of
people's
course
posts
not.
and they were
Of course
making an
not. Yeah.
opinion on what the posts they saw. And it really was. If you went to the amusement and arcade section, it was a crane show. Like it was well, if you can call them cranes or claw machines or whatever you want to call them. It was very heavy on claw machines and clip machines, and that kind of stuff as far as machines. But what you and I and Jen talked about in our live stream last week was that not a lot of new stuff. Not and I think that was what I got so excited about going to MBVA the past few years, is that when I went to the amusement part, there was always like a new shooter or something that was kind of exciting, like Asphalt 9 came out, there's always new pinball machines, which are awesome. But as far as like Sega had come out with a few new racers last year that were pretty awesome. The toilet, the toilet game that was kind of cool, that was different. I only saw a couple things that were like that were awesome. So
Yeah, I mean, there were a few new machines, but not like what we expected. I know like LAI had the arcade mat Mount Shebang. They had the Galaxy Hunter coin pusher, and DeMiro had the Star Wars coin pusher.
that was
Right?
Jen's favorite. Yeah.
That's the one I forgot when they asked me this morning what my favorite one. I forgot about the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Right.
That one was awesome. Yeah, for sure. So but what we did really see that there was like last year, we saw Fiesta Toy that was brand new and in the industry, and we all fell in love with them and their new stuff that they were bringing to the table. But this year there was even more. We found a booth that was called Fun Toys Inc. They're out of Texas. Had some really.
Oh, nice. I really liked that lady.
She was cool, wasn't she? And
Yeah.
there was actually 2 ladies hovering around you and your dad, and they both wanted to help you. They were like fighting to help you, and I was like, that's so cool that they were so excited to meet you.
Like an aggressive way. They
No.
were just like, we're here to help. And it was super sweet, and they were really funny.
Yeah.
I had a really good time in their booth.
And we had and the more we looked, the more we found, and that's what was crazy, because I had walked by their booth and just walked past it and didn't even take a second glance, because along the outside was all big stuff. So it looked like carnival toys. It didn't look like anything that would be in there. But once you walked in, all the mini stuff was in there, all the medium sized stuff and the small stuff.
I think the quality was a lot higher on the inside than it was on the outside, because it was a lot of
100%.
cheap big things instead of the like better quality. Like I know Matt, your wife really liked the octopuses, the with
Yes. Yep.
the springy
They had
legs.
these springy tentacles, yeah, and she
Yeah,
loved them.
I'm trying to find the
Um,
card
but I
because
do
there
think
was.
that I saw someone comment about machines not making it through the whole. Gumball Gold said foods weren't or machines weren't making it through the whole show. And I think that there were a lot of machines there that just really hadn't had the quality control. And I also
So,
think that they weren't they weren't designed with operators in mind. I think that a lot of the different cranes were they moved away from the operator where I felt like the trend had been to make stuff easier. The doors would open certain ways so that it was easier for us. And I feel like they really just kind of threw that out the window. Like they were some of the booths were talking about, oh, we've added new music. And it's like that music is annoying.
nobody cares
Most
about
of the
that.
time I don't
We
even
all turn
have
it
the
off,
music
right?
on.
Right. We
And
unplug the speakers.
exactly. Or, "Oh, look at all this space underneath." And I was like, "So is it a locker box?" "No, no, it's just beautiful space." And I was like,
Yep.
"I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense to me. I would rather have my that area hidden and also the components are open to the light." There's just a lot of things that I think a lot of manufacturers are doing that they're not thinking long term and they're not thinking for the street operator. I think that in an FEC, some of those machines might look cool because it only has a card reader on it and we don't care. There's no change or paper money going into it. And so it doesn't matter if people can see the inside. But they were
Well,
catering to those people and not a
you're
street.
Yeah,
right though. I've always felt like the IAPA show catered more towards FECs and like arcade
I
operators
mean,
compared to street
I mean
operators
that's
like
what it's
us.
for.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
But those same companies are the same ones that are sending stuff to the amusement expo. And I just think that the trend kind of right now is they think that everyone is going to a card system when they're not.
right.
And I hope that someone tells them, "Hey, this isn't how things are going." Like I saw some even Eunice and different things like that. They kind of were more steering towards the FEC card system, not taking cash. Their doors were a little, I mean, it's not just them, it was a lot of people. And for
Yeah,
me, it's like, I want to be able to take all the different things.
yeah.
Like if it's
They
in a
don't have
low
room
income
for it.
area, like we were
Hmm.
talking about on the morning Monday morning motivation talk, I said, so you got to think about what type of area it is and what kind of machine you're putting in there, whether you're going to have it take coin. And if it's in a low income area, some parents aren't going to give their kid a $5 bill to go play. They're not going to give them a card, or the kid isn't going to have a phone they can just tap. So making sure that you have as many different options for money depending on where it's located. And I think that a lot of people think, "Oh, everything's going to digital." It's going that way. But in the meantime, there's a lot of people that still, need to be able
Oh,
to put a dollar bill in or coins in.
absolutely.
Well, and going
Yeah.
back to your point, you and I and Matt, we walked around. I mean, for together for hours, and we looked at some. There was one Chinese manufacturer that we they were on the back wall, remember? And you really liked. They had that pink. It was like it wasn't a mini, and it wasn't a medium. It was like right in between. I think the thing was probably maybe 16 or 17 inches wide. It was a little bigger, and Jen was like, "Oh, that's a really pretty machine," and we went over and looked at it, and on the bottom door there wasn't room for all
Yep.
three types of payment. And so then we were
Yeah.
like, okay, how do you move this? How do you move that? And like having the conversation with them, of like they don't understand that that's what we're looking for. And I think that's your point. That is very well spoken. The fact that we didn't see a lot of that. You're right. It was
Well,
a lot of
and they don't care about the security aspect because in China kids are well behaved.
yeah,
And here we
not
have
America.
terrible children that stuff
Really bad
logos
kids.
Legos
Yeah.
into bill acceptors and, kick open locker boxes and cut cords and all kinds of stuff. And they're not taking that into consideration. Like the one lady that had the one lock on a big door. It's like
Yeah.
you need to have that secured in two spots so that you can't just bzz and open that thing up. And
Yeah.
she's
And
like,
not have
"Oh, no, we don't need that."
not have the attachment to be able to put a padlock on it. I saw that
Yeah,
too. You'd
yeah.
have double locks, which is great, but there wasn't even a hole for it to poke out where you could put in your padlock, and
You know my
that's
feeling
what
on
you're
that
talking.
one.
Yeah. So
Oh, and
100%.
remember the one that had the that light strip around it that they
Yes, and
could
the lights are.
feel the yeah. And I remember Bill saying, "Oh, I don't like that stuff." And I even told someone I was like, I was at a hot dog place and they have like a neon sign, like the LED neon sign, and half their sign has people have picked off
Peeled it
the
away. Yeah.
color. And it's
Yeah.
like this is a huge logo that's like out in the open. Can you imagine like on a machine, kids are just going to pull it off and it's going to
Well,
look
they have
like
nothing
crap.
better to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and potentially start a fire because that wiring, if you mess with it too much, it's going to spark. So,
So
anyway, sorry, that was
on
that was a rant.
no, and I think you're 100% right, and I think that we went to I think you were with, I don't know where you were, Jen. You were doing something, and Matt, it was the last day that I was there, which was Thursday, and Matt was walking around, and I was kind of by myself, and you were in the Neo Funds booth, and I walked into the Neo Funds booth, and Jen was there, and I had like almost an hour conversation with Bill Coleman on the Neo Funds machines, and he walked me through like
Yeah.
how
He
they're
taught us.
built.
He taught us so
He
much.
taught us, yeah, like how they're built, choices you can make,
Well,
why they're made a certain way.
he did the programming for it. So
Yeah.
I mean, so
Well, and
I
then he
mean,
went into the menus and showed us like how you can adjust and test everything. And like I had no idea. I didn't know any of that stuff. And so when you have somebody like that in the industry that can go as an operator and explain to these people, and I think that that's why there's companies like NeoFunds that do better at route machines and do better at those things because they have somebody from America that can walk them through what everybody's looking for. Because I don't think they, like you said, they don't have the crazy kids like we do. They don't have the problems that we do. And so to have somebody go, that's not going to work. Like we walked through, you and I, Jen, and we were looking at that really cool bulk machine that we found. And we're like, this is really cool. Jed, the first thing she does is get on her hands and knees and stick her hand down in the chute and see if she can reach her hand up there to make sure that her fingers aren't going to get chopped off from some kid reaching their hand in there, because that's what we deal
because
with on
it's happened.
yeah.
It's
It totally
proven.
happens. Yeah.
And I
totally
asked them, is there a sensor in there that if there's any feedback on the wheel that it would stop? And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And
That means no.
this is a US company that's selling these machines, and he
Yeah.
didn't know. And he's like, "Well, I can ask our engineers." And I was like, "Well, you should know cuz your hand can stick right up into that thing and touch the wheel.
Yep.
You should know if it's going to stop." So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of things that I think need a lot more quality control. And there was a ton of it on the show floor that so just
Wasn't ready.
buyer beware.
Yeah.
If you're buying stuff, make sure that it's something that you are familiar with, and also that it's been gone through. I don't know. There's so
Well,
many.
there's some I get
love
messages all the time in Discord from people, and there was one I got last week from this person that said, "Oh, I got this quote from this seller in Alibaba," and it was basically like the generic version of a super mini. There's that shell that you can buy from almost anybody, and then oh, and it's this price and that price, and I'm like, well, do you know anything about the seller? And it's like, no. And I said, I don't either. I've never heard of them before. What they put inside the machine could completely be top to bottom different from what you're going to get somebody that's trusted. You need to be very careful because you're going to be, even if you're spending $100 less per machine, you're probably getting $300 less in the quality of the product that's going into that
Oh, for
machine.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, and you need to be very careful. So don't just go buy stuff on Alibaba. Don't waste your money. Only buy from trusted suppliers and make sure that you are checking everything that's in there because if you are ordering custom machines, you get to choose all that. So make sure you're choosing the right stuff that goes in there. So, anyways, all right. So, we got a super chat. You ready?
We've actually got a couple super chats. So
Oh, we
let's make
do?
sure we get
Did I
them
miss
all
one?
in.
Oh, yeah, we do. Sorry. Here we go. There we go.
Yes. All right. First one up is 720 Vending Mike with a $4.99 super chat. It says, just got informed today that I'm losing a soda machine location. I have to have it out by the end of the year, and it snowed here in Denver today. Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Oh man, that's all right. There's plenty of more. You know what I mean? And get those dollies that we got. You could move all kinds of them. Like I couldn't believe it. That was awesome. So don't give up. We know you. We know you, Mike. I mean, you know that you're gonna find a spot pretty quick, and you're really good with
Also,
people.
maybe check with
And
Old,
Pepsi. Check with
yeah.
Pepsi and see if they're doing the same kind of deal because I know my area, they just are pulling all their machines. So I'm sure that there's lots of places around you that Pepsi's just pulling out machines and maybe you can place your own.
yeah,
Um, so there's a lot out there.
It's
Sucks
funny.
that it
An old,
really sucks that it's snowing though. I'm very
yeah.
sorry. Even though your roads are pretty good, they do a good job in Denver of clearing roads. I do have to say.
go ahead, Matt. What'd you say?
I
Yeah,
was
sorry.
just gonna say, an old time vendor one time told me, sooner or later you lose all your locations. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that you've done a bad job. We've all lost locations. It happens. Just go out
Always
there
be
and find a new one.
locating.
That's right.
Yep. Which is really funny because before I go into the next super chat, so we had our Monday morning coffee for Vending Academy, which Jen does every Monday morning, and her presentation was on finding locations. And one of her big things that she was pushing was like always be locating, always go into a restaurant, eat dinner, ask if the owner's there, go in and get, whatever it is, go to the laundromat, get you something washed or whatever, and ask if the owner's there. So you're always locating. She's like, sure enough, you want to tell the story?
Sure. So basically I was like, no matter where you're at, you should always have stuff ready. And so on Monday, I don't remember why I was out that direction, but I usually go by all these different Euro places by the same company, and there's one in particular that has the best hummus. And I just happened to go in there. I usually buy a big thing of it on my way home because it's pretty far away. And there was this guy in there, and I was like, "Are you the owner?" And he's like, "I'm not, but my brother is." And I was like, "I've never seen you in here." And I was like, "I have tried so hard to get in contact with the person that owns the like 9 or 10 of your stores." And he goes, "Oh yeah, why?" And so I showed him the cranes, and he goes, "Oh, that's really cool." And so I, did my whole spiel, and he's like, "Well, I'm going to be seeing him this weekend. Give me your card, give me some info. As far as I'm concerned, it's a yes for me." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds good." So I gave him all my stuff, and he's like, "Well, look for a call next week, and hopefully, like maybe Monday or Tuesday, you'll have a yes." And so you just never
Nice.
know. So
That sounds promising. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Nice.
I was really excited because I mean they're very popular. Usually at that one, there's a line when I go there. So
Nice.
speaking of
Okay,
cold,
super
it's
chat.
freezing in here.
Super chat. Yahoo! This one coming in from Waco's Car Wash, Channel Elevators and More. It's a $5 super chat. He wants to know what's, and I'm going to say it as he typed it, y'all favorite Thanksgiving food.
And I want to talk about that. So let's talk about what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving and your favorite Thanksgiving food.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, so let's go first.
Not me.
I'll kick this one off. All right, I'll kick it off. So we are hosting here. We've got some family in town here in South Carolina for the Thanksgiving festivities. We'll get up and we'll watch the parade. As the food cooks, we'll watch some football, probably some dog show kind of stuff, all that good stuff you do on Thanksgiving. And of course, we'll eat dinner and probably start our Christmas decorations and all that stuff. As far as my favorite thing, I mean, I love all the different things, but I think like the one thing I really look forward to, and it's going to sound funny, and some of you out there might agree or might disagree with me, but the thing I probably look forward to the most is the can of cranberry sauce that when you open it and pour it out, it looks like it came out of like a dog food can. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you like the hard kind? You don't like the
I do.
mixed? The
I do.
ah,
Yeah, I do.
nice.
So
That's
I
probably
like
my
that
favorite.
when it's with cream cheese on a turkey sandwich, but other than that, I don't. I
Mm,
won't eat that. Thank you.
man, do you guys ever make gobbler cobblers when Thanksgiving's over? Have you ever heard of
What?
cobbler? Okay,
I make
so
a hot turkey
Google,
sandwich if that's
everybody
what
out
you
there, Google gobbler cobbler. It
I'm
is by
scared too.
far, oh my God, it's the
you,
best. Gobbler cobbler,
you can't.
it's basically a pie made from Thanksgiving ingredients that you make.
So
And
kind of
it's,
like a chicken pot pie, but with turkey
yes,
almost.
but
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's better. It's way better. And it is, we always make a gobbler cobbler with the leftovers from our Thanksgiving dinner. And
Mm,
so everybody Google gobbler cobbler, and you guys will go nuts. It is like the best thing ever
Okay.
for your leftovers. So, anyways,
interesting.
okay, Jen, I know you don't want to talk about it, but what are you doing for Thanksgiving, and what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
So we are going to try to out decorate our next door neighbors with
Oh,
Christmas
okay.
because they just paid someone to light up their house, and so we're going to try to make our house all lit up. I got stitch lights that I put up today, so he's projected on our house. Um, so my boyfriend is vegetarian, and so I we're not doing Thanksgiving the
Mm-hmm.
traditional way. I used to go to my aunt and uncle's, and my uncle would do 7 turkeys, all different ways. Each one was different, which was a lot of fun. But I eat a lot less meat now, and so it's a little hard for me to do that. And so we're just gonna have potato salad and I don't know, but we're just gonna decorate the house. That's our main thing. We're gonna maybe go to Top Golf on Friday to be our
Nice.
celebration.
There you
So
go. There you go.
I, I think anything that has to do with family and getting together, it doesn't matter what you eat. I know that traditionally it's turkey, but it's just about getting together and relaxing for the day and hanging out with your family, right? It doesn't really matter what the food is, I don't think. And usually it's always good because everybody brings something or it's homemade or whatever. Like, it's, I don't know. To me, it's about that. So don't stress so much about the food. Like, just enjoy yourself and have a good time. And Top Golf sounds pretty awesome. I love that place.
and potato
So,
salad is my favorite Thanksgiving thing. My mom makes the
really?
best potato salad. Yeah, it's the
So
best. My great
does she
grandma
put
used to
like,
make
sorry, I
what?
didn't mean to
What were
interrupt you. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say, does she do the mustardy type or does she do the more mayonnaise type?
it has both, but no pickles. It's just eggs, potatoes, mayonnaise, mustard, salt, and vinegar, and a few other
Mm,
things. It's pretty
that sounds really
basic.
good.
Yeah.
Nice. But that's the best, honestly, when it's homemade like that. It's so good.
Yeah. I
So
think there's like 6 generations that's made the same recipe. So
awesome.
we're just keeping the tradition
So
going.
So all the kids are here, and we have my parents over. My mother-in-law lives in Santa Barbara. She doesn't come up for Thanksgiving usually. She always comes up for Christmas, but she doesn't come up for Thanksgiving. So it's just my parents and the kids and us, and we're deep frying a turkey tomorrow for the first time. I've
Yeah.
only done it once in like 20 years. So if I come on next week's live and I'd have like, you know,
No eyebrows?
oil, no
Burns.
eyebrows, and oil burns all over my face. That's the reason why. Or, or we're homeless. One of the two. I don't know which one it's going to be, but we're doing that. So,
You're doing it outside,
I,
right?
oh yeah, of course, yeah. So
Okay.
we're going to do it in the alley behind the house, and I injected the turkey with I don't know what it's
The
called, but like
spices and stuff.
the yeah,
The
all that, and
seasoning.
then I patted it down with the seasoning. And it's in the fridge, and we bought a new turkey fryer because I don't even know where the old one is. I bought it, like I said, 20 years ago. It's somewhere around here, but we bought a nice new one, and so we're gonna try it out. So wish us luck. We don't know how it's gonna go, but
That's That's one of my favorite ways to have turkey. That and then the green egg turkey. Those are my two favorite. I mean, like I said, my uncle does 7, so I've gotten to try a lot of different ways to make turkey.
Well, and I did it once, and then I realized like it was a lot of work because like you have all that oil. It's like 30 gallons of oil, and all this stuff. But my parents, like my family, my grandma just passed away last year, and she was always quote unquote in charge of the turkey. But the past few years, she was 96 when she passed away last year, and so she sort of was in charge of the turkey, but she didn't really do the turkey, So she kind of putted around the kitchen, and we all did it together. And the way that it was done in our family was like the old school way. So, I mean, it was hours of work, like to get this turkey going. And I'm like, I can have it done in an hour, like I just need to prep it the night before. But otherwise, like you stick it in the fryer and pull it out, and it's way juicy. And so we're going to try it and see how it goes. My dad said I'm going to burn the place down, but I think that it'll be. He has no faith in me whatsoever. I guess he was telling Natalie, he came by the house today. He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I saw the firefighters. They're blowing things up." And
did he secretly up the insurance on the house?
I'm wondering because
policy.
because we have the family. Our house is like in the trust with the family, and so I'm guessing he's probably he'll come tomorrow and he'll be like, "I don't want it anywhere near the house. You need to go out the alley." That's how he talks, by the way. And you can't have it. And so I guess you got a hose ready, and I'm like, put out a oil fire with a hose, Dad. Like I could just see how it's gonna go tomorrow. It'll be interesting. I should film that. That'd probably be a better video than most of our videos on our channel. It's just the whole dynamics of the Howard household trying to deep fry a turkey should be pretty good. So so that's what we're doing. We're excited. Sam's all excited. He thinks it's gonna be super cool. So he wants to help me do it and stuff. So anyways.
Oh, Anthony went to Dollywood.
What is that?
That's an amusement park in Tennessee, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
What is it? Tell me more.
Like, Dolly Parton. It's in like the coolest. So us West Coasters don't realize how cool that area of the country is. It's like this hidden area in Tennessee. And my cousin used to be the head park ranger at the Great Smoky Mountains. So that's the only reason why I know about it. But Dollywood is Dolly Parton's amusement park. And then what are the 2 other cities that are around it?
So Pigeon Forge is where Dollywood is. And then there's Sevierville, which is where the auction is, and Gatlinburg.
There we go. The home where the pancakes were first invented.
I was going to say like a giant yo-yo or something. What's going to be there?
Actually, Gatlinburg is really cool. It's got the Strip, which is just one main road, and you could walk up and down both sides of the road. There's all kinds of things to do. There's arcades, there's restaurants, there's all kinds of little shops. I mean, and it's not like big time like Jonathan, when we went to Disney Springs and I said there's restaurants and bars and shops, it's nothing like that. It's like old timey kind of school, like very 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 touristy but cool. There's distilleries all over the place.
Town on crack.
Yeah.
Or as my cousin used to describe it, it's like the circus came to town and brought all their friends, family, and viewers, and then just never left. Like they just kept making
That's cool.
circuses everywhere, and it's incredible.
Nice.
It's a good time.
The Paula Deen, sorry I keep interrupting you. The Paula Deen restaurant was one of my favorite places. I could go on and on. I loved that area.
We just like to see you get excited. I love to watch you light up. I see it on Monday mornings with the Vending Academy. Like when you talk vending, I think when we all talk vending, like we get super excited. And I know like you're you're always deep in thought, Jen. Like you're always thinking. So like you kind of like you always
like ping 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 ping.
Yeah. So like you're kind of not always like in the now, But then when you to talk about vending, you like pop into the now and get super excited. I don't know how to explain it, but I love seeing you get excited about this stuff. Like it's really cool. So talk all you want, interrupt us all you want.
It's pretty awesome. There was
Nice.
lightning storms, so we didn't get to experience the whole thing, but it was pretty neat.
Nice. Very cool.
But we have a super chat.
I was
Oh,
just
there
gonna
you
say we've got a
go.
super chat, and everyone was on the same page right there. How about that?
Yep,
All
we
right,
were
this one
on it.
from Jesse. Jesse says, "You guys see anything about cologne vending machines that popped up in my Facebook ads?" Now, when I see cologne vending machines, you know what I think of? Gas station bathrooms, right? Because
Mine
they've got
is
those bulk. They've got some gas stations have bulk vending machines, or some bars have them too. Even malls, bulk vending machines that have cologne sprays, gum, Tylenol, Advil, stuff like that. Other things that we probably won't be mentioning here, but so
CBD. Yeah.
no, I'm not even. I'm not. I didn't even mean
Oh,
that, but
condoms.
yes, okay. Well, you're going to mention them. All right. Anyway, so
Well, it's a
um,
family show, but that's not adult. That's
sure, sure, sure,
So
sure.
I was wondering if the ones that he was seeing were digital because for a little while there were a couple companies selling franchises of doing the cologne and perfume in different bars and restaurants, and then other ones were more like the full line kind of machines that were just normal put money in.
But would it
So
be
that was one
like
thing I was
you
wondering.
vend a whole bottle of that, or like those real little ones?
So it's not the like tiny ones, but it's actually a decent sized bottle. And I know
Mhm.
that in the Portland area there was a franchise that you could get into all the like nightclubs. And so they had like rolled up shoes for girls. They had powder. They had it was more on the high end. So like stuff would be like $40 and $50. But it didn't take cash. It just was like a swipe system. Some of them even had huge TV screens advertising stuff. Oh, it says does not dispense.
Yeah, this one you just stand in front of it, it sprays you like a spray tan.
Ew.
That's I mean that's
What?
how some of those. I mean, what was that country singer that sang that song about the bathroom polo? Probably putting on $3 worth of that bathroom polo. Was that? I'm not a big country
Yeah.
fan, so you know what I'm
Um,
talking about though.
yeah, I
Well,
do. I can't think of who that is though.
so most of the time when we see those machines around here, they're at like the airport at like at Sacramento
Like the,
Airport.
like,
So I
like
don't.
the CVS machines or what? Is that what
Yeah,
you
so
mean?
they'll have one machine that's just electronics. So it's just headphones, earbuds, charging cords, that kind of stuff.
I
And then the
know.
next to it, they'll have a machine that's all eyelashes and eyeliner and whatever. And then they'll have another machine that is those types of things. So it'll have like cologne and body spray and deodorant and like all this stuff. And it's like I guess they do pretty well, but that's at SAC. So I didn't see any of that at. I stopped at two different airports. So I stopped at St. Louis on the way, and then I stopped at Vegas on the way back, and I didn't see a lot of those machines. I saw the basic ones, but I didn't see any of those specialty ones. So maybe I just missed them. But I don't know about you guys, but
Florida airport. I saw him in the Florida
I see
airport.
them. I see them in all the airports. I
I
Yeah.
feel like everyone I
was
go to.
I just wanted to
But
get out of the Florida airport.
I'm always looking for them too. But I feel like there's always some sort of like cake vending machine or something like that. We saw a
Oh,
lot of those in Vegas, obviously.
oh.
There's always like a CVS vending machine that has like Tylenol, ibuprofen, anti-sickness medication, all kinds of that kind of stuff.
Have you watched the
Um,
video on what they have to put into that cake so that it can last in those machines? Oh,
no,
you
and
will never ever buy one if you watch the video on the
I
ingredients
wouldn't
ad
I
for
would
it.
never buy one anyway. but
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I would take a picture of it to post on my community tab. I do that anytime I find a weird vending machine. I like to post it on my community tab for sure.
I should just send them to you because I take pictures of them. I just don't do anything with them.
Yeah, send them. If you come
I have,
across them, send them to me for sure.
I have some really cool ones of where people put wraps on older machines and then they put like antiques in them, or there was like
I've
some
seen,
cool
yeah,
crafts. I even saw one where it was kids like party supplies, but it was like very like niche. It was pretty cool. It was like mass for kids, and it was like I'm one, and then uh, different ages and stuff like that. It was neat, but I don't know who their buyer is. I mean, you'd have to be like looking for it and actually need something for a birthday party. It seemed really obscure, but to each their own.
I actually have an idea for a weird vending machine like that I can't reveal
Don't
what it is yet
share.
because
Save
Yeah.
I
it.
can't
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
reveal I can't
my
reveal
brother
because
has
it's
wanted to do one for a really long time,
still in the
and I
works.
can't
But
share that, but there are some neat ideas out there for those.
yeah, I think it's going to be sweet if I can get all the everything to line up right.
Is it you just need the product?
Nope, I've got a connection for the product.
Oh, okay.
I need to so uh,
Never mind.
anything I say
We'll
No,
move
we
along.
won't talk about it. Let's move on. Super
let's
chat.
just say let's just say it's still in the works. All right, super chat coming in. This one from Waco's Car Wash channel, Elevators and More. It's a $2 super chat. Yesterday he rode 8 elevators.
Oh my god, that's
Are
crazy.
you like
I rode 3 today.
That's pretty good. Wow.
trying to
How'd
remember
you
the
do
last
that?
time I was in an elevator?
Where we live, there's not many elevators, so we don't get that
Right.
luxury. We don't get that luxury, unfortunately.
I had a meeting and then I had a doctor's appointment. So
Ah. So okay, so I wanted to talk about before we go on. So we covered IAPA. Anything else on IAPA before we move on that you guys thought was interesting? I thought the Bandai Namco booth was absolutely awesome. They had a bunch of new stuff, new air hockey. They had a new skee ball that was I really want really bad. A bunch of new stuff in their booth that I thought was really cool. Unis Technologies had a ton of new stuff. They had a that was really cool too.
I really like their claw machines. Their claw machines played so good, and those customizable marquees at the top. We got the full demo because they were.
Here's a
It
good
was so
comment.
funny. It was.
So you saw my? Did you watch my
Vending
video
Canada-
yet?
I think
I
there were a
haven't.
couple people that mentioned it.
Yeah.
So
So
Squishmallows who kicked you out.
well, I don't even know what booth it was. I have to go back and watch the video, but I walked by it and it was enclosed. You know how the
Well, someone said it was
the
Jazz Bears, which is Squishamallow.
okay, so like the good stuff booth, they had one section that was like closed off, right? And so I walked in there and I was just filming my thing, and then like the one guy walked up to me like super aggressive kind of and was like, "You can't be filming here, no cameras, no cameras." And I'm like, "Okay." So I just turned around and walked back out. But everybody was taking pictures and stuff, so I don't understand, but I guess he didn't want me filming. So that was kind of a funny part to my video, so I just went on to the next booth. But I got a little bit of it in the video, but I don't know if they had stuff that hadn't been released yet or whatever it was, which is fine. I don't want to
They get
cause
lots
any
of people
problems.
copying their stuff.
That could be what it is. So, and I don't want to cause problems, but it was just, I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that because everybody else has been like, come on in, film all you want.
Yeah,
And
totally, totally.
and
Rhode
they
Island
weren't
was
like,
yeah, we love when people come in and take pictures and then post them about us.
yeah. And like Matt did the food stuff with Dawn. And I thought that was awesome because it was
Yeah,
different.
I wanted to do something different this year, so I did that.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Very cool. Very cool. So, but I wanted to talk about, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about IAPA, is there anything else you want to cover? No? We are doing, a lot of people don't know, but we're doing a giveaway for the live stream and in the Discord. And those of you may be new to the live stream or the Discord, if you go into, and I thought maybe Matt, you and Jen could cover the Discord for a minute. I need to go use the restroom in the middle of the live stream because I'm old and that happens to me. So I'm going to have you guys do the Discord real quick and show the giveaway. But we're giving away 4 advertising screens and 1 claw stand. The new bulk
enter
claw
the
stand.
Enter?
What was that? Can you enter? So, and we're giving it away at MBVA, so definitely enter to win. But I thought you guys could cover that for 1 second, and I'll be right back. But give me a second here. You ready?
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead and pop it up on the screen for everyone,
Okay.
and then I'll
There
kind
you
of
go.
walk through it. So this
Okay.
is the Discord. This is the Xtreme Vending Discord. Right now, I'm in the general chat, but if you guys want to enter the giveaway, over here on the left-hand side of the screen, there's all kinds of different tabs. And if you start from the very top, and scroll down. It's actually pretty close to the top. You'll want to find this little rocket ship right here that says giveaway, and it says Howard Hospitality Group. If you click on that, it's going to take you over to the Howard Hospitality Group page, and the giveaway is right here at the top. So all you need to do is click on enter right here, and then you'll be able to fill out all the information to get signed up to win. And from what I understand, and I know Jonathan was just telling us what all is going to be available. I know one of the screens is going to be available, and maybe one of the stands, but I don't know if it's going to be one of the stands with these extra arms for some bulk vending machines. It might just be a regular stand. Jonathan will have to clarify it for us when he gets back.
I would assume that it's that, but yeah, he'll have to clarify.
I mean, it does say enter the giveaway above to win, and we see that. So Jonathan, tell us.
Yes.
Which stand is part of the giveaway? Is it just a standard?
The new one. No, it's the new bulk stand. Yeah.
Okay.
So, so just for those of you who don't know, so we have the original claw stand, which has been really popular. We sold quite a few of those, and people are super excited about them. But the new one actually gives you the ability to add. So if you look at the picture, you can see you can do one item only, or you can do the larger plate and do sticker machines, three. What do you want to call them? Like the 3 option bulk, triple shops, any kind of things like that you want to do, sticker machines, those. So it's up to you on what you want to add to the machine. But now, excuse me. Sorry, I swallowed wrong.
Anthony, those new video toppers are amazing.
Yes, and we'll talk about those too.
Yeah.
But the idea was, so if you notice the stand at the bottom of it, they're kind of big. And the reason that they're big is because they don't tip. And we got it down to like the millimeter, the widest that you can make those stands, so that they can't tip your machine, and they can't take off with it. It weighs 60 pounds, and it's super stable. But a lot of people are saying, well, you could always go up to a larger machine, and that's true. But what Jan had talked about in previous live streams is that it's not just what the bottom is, but it's what the top is. So like if you're putting this in front of a pillar or a window or that kind of thing with the larger machine, you take up a lot of viewable space, and they are larger all the way around. So this can slide under things. But what the new bulk stand allows you to do is to make more money and have more options available to you as you put the bulk, as you put the stand at your location, plus protect your investment. So it keeps them from shaking it, keeps them from taking off with it and damaging your machine, which you spent, and a lot of people aren't going to want to go buy a $3,000 24-inch claw machine and put it in there when they can spend, $250 and put in a stand, versus, so a lot of people don't have that kind of money to invest into a bigger machine. So this is a way to protect your investment, basically. And it's the new one, and you can choose whether you want 2 of the larger items, or the larger plate on the right and on the left, or if you want just a single or whatever you want, you can choose, and you get to choose.
Also, you can use it as your foot in the door. Just use it as your first machine and show that you give a good service, and maybe they'll want you to add more equipment. But it also keeps kids safe. And then also I got a spot because it would cut some shins if someone tried to pick it up and take it out of the place. And the lady's like, yeah, I'm up for that, because it's in a bad area. And she's like, if it's not tacked to the ground, it'll walk out of here. And I said, well, I have a stand that is going to go under the machine, and if they try to take it out, it's going to cut some shins. And she's like, I'm all about that.
Well, and I think that, it's really weird, but it's almost like it's not a dirty little secret, but it's almost like a non-talked about thing in the industry. But this was a problem for us from the beginning. We've been doing this almost 4 years now, going into 4 years. And ever since the beginning, we've had problems where we'll go to our location and it's a lot of plush is in there, and there's not a lot of money in there. So that it was shaken, and the stuff had, they basically tilted it and shook the machine. And so we started to realize that there's a lot of, kids get angry. They do bad things to your machines, and the minis are very susceptible to being shaken because they're also a little bit top heavy, and that's another problem with them too, is that there's not a lot of weight in the bottom of these machines. So you'll see a lot of times in Facebook and in the Discord that people say, "Oh, I put a bunch of bricks in the bottom," and it's like that works too to weigh them down, but
But
you
it
can
creates a
still,
pendulum.
yeah, you
If
can,
like physics tells you that if you have, I forget what the law, but you've created movement and weight that has movement, and so it's not going to actually do you any good. If they shake it, it's creating more movement, and it's going to fall over whether they want to or not.
it almost makes it worse, to be honest. So the idea with the claw stand is, you have 60 pounds of weight, and then you have the width. The bottom is wide and it's thin, so it's not like it's super thick where people are going to trip on it or it's going to be a problem. But you know. I know that David and a few other people told me they've gotten locations because they use the claw stands, and they tell the people, because that's the first thing they ask is like, what if people break the machine? And they
What's the
tell them they put.
widest? Sorry, what's the widest machine you can put on it? Can the 24-inch or the treasure chest go on it?
No, so it'd be up to like 15 inches. So it's
Oh,
it's basically like 12 to 15 inches.
okay.
You wouldn't need to on well, I mean those are kind of a little bit susceptible too, but yeah, I don't have anything that goes on that. Like these are more so for, you can put I sold 10 last week to a person that bought the candy machines, the magic cuts, the mini magic
Oh
cuts,
yeah, that's
that.
perfect for that.
Yeah, so they bought them for those because they had people shaking them and trying to get it to cut the the string that was on the machine and messing with them, and so they
It
bought them for
messes the
that.
calibration up. Like if they
Yeah,
really get it to move, that calibration is going to be off.
yeah,
Huh.
and so they're a great little machine, but they are susceptible to that situation too, where they're trying to get it to malfunction or to cause problems or whatever, because people are, well, kids are kids, like we talked about earlier. So, but anyways, it can be used for anything that's a small amusement machine of any kind, anywhere from like 12 to 15 inches. Doesn't matter if it's a mini. The idea was that the plates adjust to fit any machine, and then it just screws in the side, like you saw in Matt's video. They're really easy to install, and yeah, so you win one of those, or you win one of the four live, or the advertising screens like behind me. So these are I just posted some, or just uploaded a bunch of new videos to our screens. So I was testing them behind me. And then, like Anthony talked about, we have new toppers that you can put on top of the machines for the advertising screens too. So we're always trying to come up with new stuff that people can make their business grow, and not only keep the money going, but fix a lot of problems. That's what it's about. So, anyways, go to the Discord,
Remind me,
enter in.
remind me, thought of a way that you could add the bulk racks to the older style.
Oh,
So
good.
later we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So you do get the new bulk one, which is also on our website. But, anyways, back
Let,
to,
let's
sorry, go ahead.
let's let's highlight one of the comments though.
Sure.
Vendingcanada.ca had a great
Yeah,
point here.
I like
He
that
says,
one.
"I'm thinking this would be a nice add-on to a few of my smaller change machines. Like my
Oh,
change machine at the flea market would actually do really well with one of these. Now I have that change machine literally bolted, lagged to the wall, so
yeah.
no one's going to be able to like tip it or do anything like that. But if I didn't have that option, that would be a great option for something like this for
Because
sure."
they're narrow and tall, and I'm wondering. I also thought about ATM machines the other day. Like
Hmm.
if you had an ATM
Yeah.
machine, I don't know what the bottom's made out of. We don't have ATM machines. Maybe somebody can let me know, but maybe it's also something for the ATM industry that might solve. Because once they're bolted on, you can't tilt it, you can't move it, they can't roll it out, they can't pick it up and grab it and carry it. Like it's impossible.
Well, then it
Even
also
with like two
creates
guys.
more leverage, so you would have more room to go down into the ground instead of that smaller area. You're adding more space so that it's really onto the ground instead of just below the ATM. I think that's brilliant. I think you should
Yeah.
really.
I thought about it the other day. I was like, man, because I saw an ATM and it was just it was beat all to crap. But I hate to
Well,
say it, but
and now they're
they just
adding jukeboxes to ATMs. So there's going to be a lot of places that get the combo. It's like Vanco or something like that that makes
Venco,
the
yeah. Venco.
yeah that has the combos. And so
so
I
this
would
is a
caution.
good comment. Go ahead and read this one, Matt, because I want to cover this too.
Yeah. Keith Arnold says ATM machines are always bolted to the floor.
So I wanted
Yeah,
to cover that because we have a lot of corporate locations that we're in and higher end restaurants. And when I started to kind of think about this idea, there was a lot of people in the Discord that had basically had many ideas of bolting things to people's walls, or screwing them into the floor or whatever it is. And I can tell you right now, out of every single location that we have, there's not one of them that would let us screw something into the wall or the
Right.
floor. I guarantee it 100%. And you may find that, which is fine, but we don't have that issue. And that's kind of why David's here. So he's getting
Oh,
his microphone, he's getting everything set up, so give him a second, he'll come in. But that was why we came up with this idea. And there was a guy about a week and a half ago that sent me a picture, and he said, I guess it's time for some claw stands. And it was a wall from his location where he had lag bolted his mini to the wall, and it pulled all the drywall off the wall of his restaurant that he was in. And it ended up costing him almost $700 to replace that hole in the wall, because they had to come in and basically reinforce behind it and do all this stuff. So this is a way to not go into your locations and drill into your floor, drill into the wall, and cause, like, you're trying to get locations. You're not trying to come in and like bolt into people's equipment or their walls or their businesses. And we would never go into somewhere and ask them if we can bolt something to a wall. That's just something that
like
we wouldn't do.
Brolican here in the comments says my Asian buffet location has nice Italian tile on the floor. There is no way they will let me bolt anything to the floor.
Yeah, and we would not. It's not even something that I would even consider in any of our locations.
so
Um,
something if it has the really nice tile, I would recommend doing is getting some kind of edging to go on your claw stand so that when they wash the floor that you're not going to have the rust stains or when
yeah.
they move your machine around, it's not going to scratch that Italian tile. I would make sure that you're putting something that's going to have still have grip, but it'll get it a little bit off just a little bit, um, so it doesn't have that rust. Because I've had a couple of my older machines, not claw stands, but they had round bases and they left a rust
Yep.
stain, and even the bounceroos do that, which is the same kind of base. So just making sure that if it's going into a place where they just flood the place with water, that you have something just to not get that rust stain. Because I spent 4 hours with a magic eraser getting rust stains out of a car dealership. Um, so something to keep in mind.
So 720 Vending has a comment here too. Um,
He says his Hooters location asked him to lag the machine to the wall after someone tipped it over.
and so that's my only worry, is that I think that unless, unless you're taking a stud finder and going along the wall and hitting the studs, like what you're lagging to can be a major issue. And if somebody's shaking
Well,
that machine or pounding it or whatever, I would never ever go into our locations and put things in the wall. I just wouldn't do it. I just feel like
in Oregon,
that's a
you're
bad
not
idea.
supposed to unless you're licensed and bonded. And so when I did it at a buffet, I had to hire someone so that because anyone that does any maintenance on a thing, they are liable for that maintenance job. And so I hired someone to basically mount my machine to the wall. So
Those are
just
the
keep
kind
that
of
in mind.
things.
Some places you have to be licensed and bonded to be able to like put stuff into walls.
Those are the major things that I really, really think about. So we've installed a lot of new equipment, and I don't put it in, like in California, they're very strict on, you don't put power strips, you don't use any kind of foreign devices in the machines, you don't, like, they're very things. So imagine going in and like putting 6 or 7 of your machines on a power strip and having it light up the whole, light up the whole side of the wall of some location or burning down the restaurant. Like, those are the kind of things. It's like, I can't imagine bolting a machine to the wall and having it rip a big hole in the wall or rip up their tile or something like that. Like, that's just not the relationship that you want to have with your locations when you're asking them to put your machines in there so you can make money, and you're going in and damaging their location. We had one location that inside of it's a bar restaurant, and around the whole bar area is just, God, there's got to be over 100 and something of those neon lights, like all the different beer lights and stuff on the walls. And their walls from like the halfway up is all wood, like along the top of the wall around the building. And it started lighting on fire from one of their neon lights catching on fire. And I'm thinking to myself, what if that was our machine? What if I went in there, like I see people post on Facebook, it's like, oh yeah, just add a power strip to your machine and then you can plug in whatever you want. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, you don't go wiring stuff into stuff that where it doesn't belong and cause problems. And that's like with our advertising screens. Like, we went to the manufacturers and we said, how do we add these to the machine safely and directly? And then we had the right kind of converters that we're not just putting wires anywhere, because we don't want people having problems. We don't want them having issues and lighting stuff on fire and burning up their machines or the people's locations and all that stuff. You got to be really careful with that stuff. So I don't recommend at all ever drilling into people's floors or walls. I think that's just a bad idea personally, whether it's change machines or anything. I just think you're you're looking for trouble personally, but that's just my opinion. So anyways, I'll let it at that. I'm not gonna say anymore, but I just couldn't. Would you, Matt? Would you go into one of your locations and go drill holes in the wall?
No.
No.
The only place I do it is the flea market mini arcade, because
it's a flea market.
I built some of the walls around my space when I first got it. It was wide open, so I built the wall. So technically, those are my walls to drill into. So, but they get full permission to do all that stuff there. It's all good.
Well, it's not your store. It's not your restaurant. It's not your insurance. Right. What happens if they come in there and they yank your machine out of the wall and then it falls on somebody and you drilled into their walls, which could be considered permanent fixture at that location, which probably falls under their insurance. Like, these are all things that you got to think about when it comes to liability.
I had a soccer center where I made them sign that they were okay with me mounting a change machine to the wall.
Yeah. In writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that, you never know, but like I was telling you never know on stuff like eBay stuff. I was talking to Rick Kokorian. They've had a lot of people say, oh, this is broken. And like, you just always got to prepare yourself. So sometimes I record myself wrapping up a package. So just always be aware of your actions could have ramifications, and people don't look out for your best interest. And so making sure that you do the right things that are going to protect yourself. So making sure you have insurance, making sure you have, all the things. We can stand here and say like mount it to the wall, or you just got to make sure that you're doing the best interest for your business.
Yeah.
We're not giving legal advice. We're not giving, I just want to put that out there. This is, we're just talking.
Well, that's why I say don't drill it. I'm giving advice right now. Yeah. Don't drill it into people's walls. Yeah. I can give that advice because I can tell you right now, like that it sets you up for problems in the future, and it could be really bad, and I would never tell you to drill into a wall, because that's just, it's not your business. You're basically, you have a space in that business that you're either leasing or whatever it may be at some point. Like, bad news, man. Like, get a claw stand, stick it underneath, and save yourself a ton of issues. Like, that's why we made them, just because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't stick them, I wouldn't drill into the walls. Anyways, off topic, we'll go on to something else. But yeah, just be careful what you guys do in your locations, because you want long-term relationships with these places, especially if they're making money. Like, I would want to stay there as long as I can, and I can't imagine showing up and having a huge hole in the wall. Like, oh God, what a nightmare. I think that'd be a huge nightmare. So, let's talk about the next show, shall we? Coming up.
Oh, what is that next show?
I don't know. Ask Jen. She has something to do with it.
Uh, the amusement expo is March 18th, 19th, and 20th.
MBVA
I
slash.
said it like a question
Yeah,
because are those? I know it's the 18th, but I don't remember if it starts before or after.
it
So
is. Matt will tell you. He'll
I
pull it up
think
right
I
now.
know
Let me
where we
see.
can go find the answer. Like, let me go look it up real quick
MBVA.
here.
Yeah, I was going to look
Oh,
it
he's
up.
not there. He's not
As
there.
you
He took it
started
away.
talking about it, I
He
was
took
like,
it
I should
away.
know the dates off the top of my head, but I
He took it
don't.
away. I'm trying to get David back in here. He's having problems. So
19th and 18th, 19th, and 20th.
there you go.
There
Oh,
you
Matt's
go.
got it. I see it. Bam.
That is such
Yes.
an
So
old.
So
That is so old.
2025 NBVA Conference and Trade Show will be held Tuesday, March 18th through Thursday, March 20th, 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, one thing I do want to point out, guys, the 18th, that Tuesday, that's not the show floor. That's the NBVA. What's the word I
Learning.
want to use? Learning day, right? So
seminars. Yep.
seminars. That's the why I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a Jonathan moment right there.
Yep. Oh wow. The old guy. Thanks. Appreciate that.
And
So
then
so guys,
also the
Ooh. Happy
all
Thanksgiving.
industry gala happens that night. So it's a lot of mixing and mingling with all the different organizations that come to the conference. Lots of learning that day. I just call it the learning day because not only do you go to the seminars, but I feel like that is a big day for meeting lots of people, talking to different individuals across the nation about what they have going, and it pays for your trip. That first day pays for your trip because you will gain things that will be able to have you go back and you know use that knowledge to help advance your business, or at least that's our goal.
Yeah.
So
and then
Nice.
here's the rest of the schedule. So Wednesday the 19th, that's when the actual trade show opens. You can see it's at the Las Vegas
Don't come
Convention
say
Center,
hi.
South Hall.
Sorry. Amelia walked by all
You're good.
sneakily. Do you want to come say hi and happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving? Hold on, I'll put her here.
she no longer walks by behind the camera anymore.
I know here. So here.
yeah,
Want to say
because
hi to
he's in the
everybody?
corner.
Yeah, I was just getting Pepsi.
I know here.
Okay. Hi guys.
Wow, look at that! I feel like we haven't seen you since Vegas.
I know it's been a while. I've just been so busy.
I've heard. Yeah, you're involved in a lot of stuff. Good to see you here,
With
though.
cheer.
Are you still filling claw machines and stuff like that when you can?
Occasionally, I am. I
Yeah.
do it when I go out, and if we go shopping or anything, we'll go by the locations and stuff. I just don't go every day because Jonathan usually goes while I'm at school.
Sure, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. But let me ask you this. Are you still letting everyone know what the coolest and hottest new trends are?
Yes.
Good. That's always key right there because, you're right there with everyone hearing what everyone's talking about. So let me ask you one question. And I may be way out in left field with this question, but is skibbity stuff still hot?
I feel like now it's more of a meme than like
Totally.
actually being popular. But it's
Yeah, I can
still
imagine.
like people would get it because it's funny instead of like liking it, you know? But
Yeah, yeah.
people would still, if you put it in machines, I think instead of targeting younger kids, you'd be getting a lot more teenagers because they find it
Okay.
like funny. And the little kids,
Sure.
they're just kind of over it. But now people find it funny. It's more of a meme.
So what have the younger kids maybe moved on to after the whole skibbity saga?
Um, I don't know. I feel like I don't know
Is
because
Tik
all that's being
is,
talked
is,
about right now.
I
Here,
was gonna say
go.
it's just TikTok in general, like the big thing right now.
Yeah, it's been the big thing for a while.
That makes sense. Do you guys still do those TikTok like little purse things?
We do those in the galaxies, but we don't do them in the minis.
I'll bet people still love those. For sure. Well, you're gonna have to come by and say hello more often, and You always were so good at talking about the giveaway stuff and all that. So you
I
have to
know.
stop by. Yeah,
I'm in my room more now.
I understand that. I totally understand that. And now, like Jonathan moved his desk around. Now we can't even see you walking by, waving in the background anymore. What's up with that?
I don't know. I guess he was just trying to hide me from the public.
Gotcha.
You just have too much going on. I think that's
right.
more
That's
what
right.
it is.
Yeah.
He calls your cheerleading professional cheerleading.
That's right.
Oh, well, that's nice. It's not professional, but I wish.
Have you gone to any competitions?
Yes. Well, not like recently. I went to my school competition like early October, but my all-star competitions aren't coming up until like February and January.
So you've got all-star competitions. Yeah, it sounds professional to me.
It's
You're well
not
on
when
your
you
way.
think about it.
It sounds like you're almost there, though. So keep up the good work,
Definitely.
Close enough.
for sure.
Well, we're proud of you.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Don't be a stranger. Come around here more often. Say hello to everyone sometimes.
I will. I was just going to get some soda, but I guess it's good that I came to say hi.
There you go. Well, it's always nice to see you, and hopefully, like I said, you'll come and hang out with us again sometime soon. Enjoy your soda.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Amelia.
Of course.
Her mannerisms are so much like her mom's.
Yeah, you
Totally.
You almost got replaced as host right there.
She would be really good.
She
She's
can have
like,
my product if she wants.
well, you can see why she's really good at getting locations. It doesn't matter how old you are, whether you're a business owner or who you are. Like, she just loves talking to people, and I think that's why it's been so good for this business for her, because she has no problem talking to people, and it's carried over in cheer, it's carried over in school. Like, even her teachers say, like, they're like, she's like 10 years older than all the other kids in her the way she talks to people and carries herself. And it's because she leaves school and she goes and talks to business owners, and that's just, at 13, it's pretty awesome. I mean, like, it's just amazing to watch her to grow. And I still have those feelings when we go to fill machines. Like, she can fill a machine in about 8 minutes, service a full, a claw machine, a mini claw machine, in like 8 minutes. And used to be she couldn't even get the DBA off the machine, and now she's just like bam, 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 and she's like dropping quarters in there, making sure everything works. And she's just, and it's like there used to be phone calls of, how do I fix the coin mech? How do I do this? And she just knows. She pops the top of the DBA off, just cleans it out, checks it, puts it back together. Like, it's I don't know. I mean, every day, I think about it, and it almost makes me cry, because I see long-term vendors, and it's like an art form, and kids just suck up the knowledge and like just grow so fast. And I don't know.
Well,
She
it's kind of
carries
like
us.
don't talk like a baby to your child. They learn from talking to the adults. Talk to them how you want them to learn, and she's gotten that. She's been able to talk to professionals and been able to become more professional and grow in that type of way.
Yeah.
I see you have the floor plan up.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah,
looking at that stuff.
so Mike said the AMOA floor plan is posted. It looks like the NBVA floor plan is also posted. So I thought it might be fun to take a look at this real quick.
And that
So
empty one has been filled.
Before we do this, I'm going to tell you at the beginning, and then I'll tell you at the end. I have 50 tickets to sell this week and every week leading up to MBVA. And what those tickets are for, they're not for the show. They're not to get in. They're not for membership. And we're hoping, we've been in talks, well, Jen more than I have, about possibly giving away a membership coming up. We're trying to work on that too for you guys. But the tickets that we sell is for a raffle that they do at the show. And you don't have to be present to win. And they give away Nax credit card readers. They give away plush. They give away toys. They give away.
Every year it's different, and there's so many cool things.
And there was how many how many tubs did they have last year? Like
I felt
almost
like
So
there
like
was like
last year was
30
record
something, right?
breaking.
Yeah.
no, it was like
Uh,
60. It was
yeah,
Was it
it
60?
crazy.
was it was
Oh.
just under 60, I believe.
And because we sold so many tickets in the live stream, I think we had about 30 winners of those tubs that won. And so it is the way we do it, and we're doing it again this year, is that you buy the tickets, and then I find out what's at the show, and I'll make a post and let everybody know what's available. And then you guys send me a message of where you want your tickets to go, and I'll drop them in the corresponding buckets with your guys' names to enter to win each of those things, whichever one you guys want. You guys get to choose. And
So you can
then
either
you
do
get
the buckets, or there's also the $2,025. It's the
yeah.
year.
Yeah, so you can win $2,025 to buy whatever you want, so a lot of people drop at least one or two into that, and then they kind of dispense them into the different buckets. But there's some good stuff, you guys, like really good stuff. So every vendor that's there usually donates something, and like we said, there's been NIAX readers, there's been there was a candy machine last year from Candy Machines, I believe that's who donated it. So
That
there
one
was.
was from Concord.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Concord donates a beaver machine that's wrapped with Concord stuff, and then usually NEN donates Northwestern. So they'll do one where it's mechs. They'll do one where it's a 2-inch capsule, 1-inch capsule. They've done that the last like 4 years.
Nice. So
And
if
then
you want
Candy
to,
Machine does the NIAX.
that's what it was. I'm sorry. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know what
So
they'll
if
do this year. I'm sure they'll come up with something fun.
So I need to sell all 50 of these tickets tonight for this week, and the next week we'll have another 50. So if you're interested in any tickets, let me know. Just send me a message either in Discord. You can email me off our website. Our information's here in the description below. But please tell me you want tickets, and I will put in a batch for you. Usually most people put in the comments, I want 20 or I want 30 or
So
whatever.
let's do this. Let's be a little bit more specific, Jonathan. First of
Sure.
all, how much are the tickets?
Here you go back and look. Jen, do you remember?
$5, right?
I think they're $5 each. Yes.
$5 per ticket.
I'm checking.
And
Okay, sorry.
for those that want to place orders for tickets with you, I just want to let everyone know, because I kind of witnessed this whole event last year, where on the live stream Jonathan sold tickets and you all just ate them up, and it was really cool to see. But what you all don't know is the whole time we had any moment of free time in Las Vegas, I see Jonathan over there. My hand hurts, man. He's filling out tickets, right? Because not only is he going to do everything for you, he's going to fill out your ticket for you. If you buy 100 tickets, he's going to write your name and phone number down
Lot of
100
writing.
times, right?
Yeah.
And then
I did that.
you'll tell him where you want them to go, and then he will literally go and put your ticket stubs and all those things for you. So it's like it's probably the best $5 raffle ticket you'll ever buy, because Jonathan literally does it all for you. And like I said, I was there to witness the whole thing last year. And he
And
put
buy
a
it
lot
if
of
you just
work
want to see
and
me
a lot
work.
Right.
Yeah,
Like-
you're right.
like- I'm ready to buy 100 tickets myself just to watch you do that. But you probably wouldn't do it for me.
I would 100% do it for you, and I would do it for
I know you would.
anybody.
I know you would. I
And
know you
everybody in the Discord was super supportive last year. I think we sold. So there's Harris, who used to own Candy Machines with Kevin. They were partners, and she was the all-time champion of selling tickets. And so I got the snub off last year because we sold more tickets than Harris, and that's the first year she's ever been beat, and it was because of everybody in the Discord and the live stream selling tickets or buying tickets. So
This year
please
you'll
help
just
me
have
beat
to
her.
beat my dad. This year
Yeah.
you just have to beat my dad.
Yeah, because
On
your
how
dad
to
always
buy.
buys.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
buys them. He doesn't sell them. He buys them.
Yeah, he buys them.
This
So
year you have to outsell how many my dad buys.
And
please
I
help
gotta
me
say,
beat them.
too, yeah, and I think everyone from the live stream and from the Discord that joined the NBVA and that went to Vegas and was a part of the show, I think we surprised a lot of people with how many new members joined and how awesome it was to grow the NBVA like that. And I know every year we try to take a group picture on the actual trade show floor, and from the previous year to last year, it was a huge difference. So just want to say thank you to all of you out there that have, shown interest or became a member and joined us or are thinking of becoming a member. It's definitely a great thing to do. You know,
And
we'll keep talking about
at
it.
IAPA, I forgot to tell you, I met two people that became NBVA members but didn't go to the show. And they
Mhm.
came up and introduced themselves. And I thought that was really awesome that to actually get to meet them because they were like, yeah, we ended up not getting to go, but we joined because we wanted to be a part of the organization. And I really
Nice.
appreciate that the people out there that join and come, and then just the people that become members to show their support for our industry. I really, really appreciate it.
That's so awesome.
I think the thing that too, like we placed a big order with SSM Vending today for a bunch of bulk stuff that we've been wanting to get for a while, and we have a new bulk machine, and we needed some 2-inch bulk and some other things. And when you go to the show, like you get to meet all the people from these companies, and they all have booths there, which you can see in the map that you have up here on the screen, and they're all together. And so like All Star Vending and SSM Vending, you can see right here in your 1004 and 905 booths right here, they're competitors. They sell a lot of the same products to the same people, but they're like best friends. And the show's over and they're at the bar at the end of the night hanging out and having drinks, and you get to meet when you call on the phone and you call and you talk to Sharon from All Star, she's there. When you call and you talk to Sean from SSM Vending or Judy or these people, that you get to meet them at the show and hang out and have a good time, and you build these relationships, these long-term relationships, like Pipeline Games just below them with Gary, and Candy Machines with Andy, and like all these people are all right there together at the show hanging out, and they want to see you succeed, they want to see you grow, and they want to grow. So it's just a really cool vibe. It's very different than IAPA. It is a lot more personal. You learn a lot more at the seminars. There's a lot of dinners and lunches and breakfasts and stuff where you're together with all the same people. So you get to have, you get to make deals and have conversations.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
The
I
breakfast.
think, I think there's so many more benefits as to why this show is probably more geared towards us. But like one of the things I love is that like it's all in one spot. So you don't need a car. You don't have to drive all over Orlando, Florida to get to all the different things you want to go to or do everything. It's all right in one spot. Sure, the hotel and casino is right next door to the convention center. So you either need to walk over or last year they provided shuttles over, which was awesome. But like you don't need a car when you're there. You can Uber and it's easy, but everybody's just basically all together. And that's one thing that's, makes this show really cool. And like we saw on the schedule, there's breakfast, there's lunches, there's dinners, there's all kinds of events separate from the trade show floor that if you're a member of the NBVA, you get access to all that stuff. And it's so nice to be able to be with so many like-minded people.
Well, and I think the thing is too is like if you're a first-time operator, even doesn't matter how big you are, if you pay for your membership to go to MBVA for the year, you get to go to the show for free. So you don't pay for the actual show; you get the show floor. You get the tickets for free, and the
As long
fee
as depends on the level. The level 1 they have to buy the pass because it doesn't include.
So depending on what level you are, but the point I want to make is that no, you're fine. But what we learned, like if you go to IAPA, for example, compared to MBVA, so you join the MBVA and you pay the 150 or 250 or whatever it is for whatever level you are, you get all your basically the first night after the seminars. So you get breakfast, you get lunch, you get dinner. So the first night is a dinner where it's all the amusement AMOA people and the NBVA people all in one big giant room. They have live entertainment, and they basically you get to kind of commingle at the show, and then so your breakfast, lunch, and dinner the first day is taken care of. Then the second day you wake up, there's a breakfast. Oh no, wait, the second day is the show, right? So there isn't a breakfast the second day.
Breakfast before the show, yeah.
Yeah. So you have breakfast before the show, and so your breakfast is taken care of, and then you go to the show. So you're on your own for the show, and then that night there is the awards dinner. on that night. So your dinner's taken care of. So for those of you who don't know, like we went to IAPA this year, and the food alone that it cost us to go, and we didn't go to fancy places because we can't afford fancy places. I mean, was over $400 by the time I left, just for me, and I was on my own. Was like 400 something dollars, and I had one drink the whole time I was there that I paid for, and it was 400 something dollars. So the one fee that you pay to join MBVA, all your food and stuff is taken care of, and so that alone pays for all your food, so, or almost all your food except for at the show. So it's worth it just for that alone. And I think that that's a lot of people don't realize that, like, it's pretty expensive to eat in Vegas. You know, there's not $10 buffets anymore, unfortunately, and it's pretty pricey to eat there. So anyways, but it's nice to, like, you know, you definitely want to stay at the West Gate. That's where everybody stays. Everything happens in that hotel, all the major events except for going over to the expo. But the expo is a you know, you can take the shuttle, or you can take the what's it called? I can't think of the name.
Monorail, or depending on which side it's in, you might be able to just walk over it.
Yeah.
Well, and usually there's a bus.
Yeah, the shuttle. Yeah,
that's the shuttle over there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyway, so I wanted to kind of point that out too. But as far as tickets, please let me know. Send me a message, email, Facebook. You know, like, we're everywhere pretty much now, so you can get a hold of us. And on our website, you can send me a message on our website. We have chat on there. And let me know and tell me you want tickets. I'll put you down, and then we'll talk about everybody that's bought tickets in as we go along here too, so people can see. So, anyways, go on to your MBVA chat or your talk. Sorry, go ahead. You were looking at your floor plans. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
So I was just taking a look at the floor plan to see who all was going to be at the NBVA section of the amusement expo. And yeah, it's funny. Like last year, like SSM and All Star were kind of right in that same general area, and I placed orders with both of them. And you know, I feel like you know, each one of these companies has something to offer, and you know, there's usually some sort of show special as well. So like, I just loaded up on a bunch of stuff at IAPA. I'm gonna probably load up on a bunch of stuff at NBVA also. So that's another benefit. You know, there's show specials that if you go, you can take advantage of those specials. So that's another good reason to come
really
to the show.
important. That's something that not a lot of people think about. And when you go to shows, usually there are those specials, and so you're saving exponentially on the product. So thinking about, like, how far ahead is the next show, and taking that into consideration when you are doing your buying. So from Rhode Island, I always look at when is the next time I'm going to be able to see Rhode Island, and I order accordingly. Like this last show, I'm not going to see him till from IAPA to NBVA. So I mean, that's quite a ways. So I loaded up on stuff.
Yeah. And the show specialty are really good too. So that's the other thing, like, for us West Coasters, we have to look at, because Rhode Island, A&A Global, those companies that are in Florida, you know, those to ship to where we are in California is very pricey.
It was more. When I last time was gonna order outside of a show, I had a $500 order, and it was going to be $800 to ship it.
Jeez, that's so ridiculous, but it's true. I mean, it's not their fault. That's just freight.
They're not
it is
money off of the shipping. That's how much it costs, and so it's.
I say it's ridiculous in the way of, like, what shipping has become.
It's totally ridiculous in that sense.
Yep.
But what I was looking for though was Mike had asked about the cost of attending there in the chat. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about joining the MBVA, those costs involved, things like that. And Jen, this is probably where your specialty is.
Yeah, and actually we're working on it. They did update it a little bit, but it is a little confusing with the level 1 and the level 2, because when we showed up at I usually do a level 2 or a level 3, and for whatever reasons our name didn't get transferred to the list to have pre-printed badges. But so if you're a level 1, you can click on it and it should show you what that. They put it right there. You don't have to click on it
Yep.
anymore. So
Yep.
it depends on how many machines you
So yeah,
operate.
if you click on it, it changes down here. So that is good stuff.
Yeah, but
So if
it
you're
Yeah.
used
level
to be,
one up,
so it had a larger description of what
Yeah.
a
But
level
it was
1 and
confusing.
so
sure.
I think they just made it so that it's less confusing and you don't have to go to a second page. But basically what it's nice, if you're a level 2, you get 2 badges. If you're a
Yeah.
level 1, the badge rate is reduced. So
But what you need
it's
to figure too is that
150, but
oh
then
sorry.
you also have to pay for the badges. And I'm
Yeah.
not seeing on here how much that is.
And from what I was
Here, let's see.
told the first time I went, and we've done it ever since, is that the badges are expensive to go to the show. So even if you're not a level 2, sometimes it's better to buy the level 2 to get the extra badge because it'll save you money overall. So don't necessarily go, from what I was told, is don't necessarily go on how many machines you have. Go on the best bang for your buck as far as what you get with the package. So it's best to move up from level 1 to go to level 2 if
Yeah.
you're going to be, if
I
it's your
think
first
I think
year,
it
you
works
get
out
one
like
badge.
a $20 difference, but there's so many more benefits to being a level 2.
Yeah.
Like you might as well pay the extra $20 and get to go to all the events and get, because when you just buy the badge into the show, because that's something other people think. They'll just buy the badges. And if you just buy badges to the floor, that doesn't get you into the events. So make
So
sure that you are buying membership and your badge. So I always just recommend, like Jonathan was saying, do a level 2. It makes it so much easier. It's like $20 difference, but you get to go to everything.
So here's my promise, and I'm including Jen in this because I'm reeling her into this, whether she likes it or not. Next live stream by next Wednesday, we will put together a one sheet presentation or a display for you guys
On the price
explaining the
break.
on the
Breaking
price
it down.
breakdown,
That's a good
breaking
idea.
it down
Yeah.
for you guys so you can understand because you gonna want to go. If you're not going, I think you're completely wasting your time because it's really inexpensive to go to Vegas right now. Hotel rooms, we just got the group code from Lori for the hotel rooms for this year, and it's like 117 a night to stay
Oh,
in the
wow.
Westgate where everything is. So it's gone up a little bit. That's what
No,
I
but
thought
that's really
Natalie.
good because if you go to the Westgate's website, I was looking at it. I was thinking about maybe booking through Black Friday deals. Sometimes it's pretty cheap doing it that way. But actually, 117 is, I think, better than what the Black Friday was last year.
Yeah,
Well, does
so
that
we'll
include the
have.
resort fee? Because the
I have to
NBVA
ask
website
Natalie.
was
She
95.
got the email from Lori. I didn't actually see it. She was just telling me it's close to. I think she said it was 117. We were driving when when she was talking about it. So I was half driving, half listening at the same time. But we'll have that information too for you guys. But where you staying in the Westgate is where you want to be. We had quite a few people. Nathan and a couple other people that were joining us for the actual expo, and they were staying like Circus and all these other places, and it was a complete nightmare just to get over
No, he was
to.
over at Excalibur, which is at the
Oh, is
other
that
end of
where he
the strip.
was? Yeah,
Yes.
and so like I
So
mean, they walked. I mean, they're young, but I think he walked like I don't know. He said how many miles just to get over
like
there.
four miles each way, which
Yeah, and so
is a long
you
way.
want to stay in the Westgate. You want to get the group code. When you join, you get the code to be able to use that to get your rooms. You get there, and everything happens there at the Westgate. We're talking about hopefully having like a little intro thing before the actual seminars start this year, so you can actually meet us downstairs and have be in the room if you're new to the show and the whole thing. Then we'll talk to you about everything and show you around, where to go, what to do, because that was one of the problems that we had the first year. We ended up walking all the way over to the expo across the ramps and everything, thinking that's where you registered, and it was just downstairs, but we had no idea. So we're trying to do something where everybody can meet and get together. And I think that we'll have everything for you next week, because it is very important to understand the breakdowns of what you're paying for and what you get. But either way, when you join MBVA and you're going to the show, it's highly recommended that you join the MBVA, because basically it takes care of all your food and more just by joining, and all the stuff that you get. Plus, you're in the thick of everything that's happening. So, and you're in the know, and you can meet people.
I just saw that she posted the group code on the NBVA website. So if you
Oh, she
are
did?
going to be, if you wanted to buy yeah, there you go.
So
It's
click
right
it,
here.
Matt. See what it does. See what happens when you see what the total is. I thought Natalie said it was 117, but that might have
Well,
been
that
with.
makes sense with taxes and stuff, and their
It's gonna make me
oh,
fill out. It's gonna make me fill out more
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Put all your personal information in there, Matt. Let's check it out.
Yeah,
See what
yeah. So remember,
so I
so right
think
now, this
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 year is
graphic.
like the test year for the Westgate and Resort World, because the following year the Westgate's going to be going through renovations or something of that sort, and so they're going to be moving our classes and stuff, I believe, over to Resort World, and that's why both of them are on that page,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
So is
Yeah.
that for 26? I think it is. That's going to
Yeah.
be. It's going to be all the. Now the convention is still going to be at the convention center, obviously, but the NBVA related activities will all be over at Resorts World.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
I think you're right,
I've
Matt. I
been
think
on a
that's what the
couple
plan is.
meetings where it still was up in the air, but I'll talk to Lori and see if she got finalization on
That's what I
everything.
think
Usually
Lori had
it's like
stated.
2 years.
'Cause I think I had asked for clarification. I think that's what she stated, but things are always subject to change for sure. So
Yeah.
we'll stay on top of that. But that's not for this year anyway, so we don't have to worry
No.
about it. Well, I'm sure everyone will talk more about it at the 2025 show.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anyways, get your MBVA membership going. They prorate it for the year. So sorry about the dogs; they're crazy tonight. And then, so get that going, and then buy tickets so we can get these sold. So 50 a week is what we're going for. Please help me sell the tickets so I can not get in trouble. And so, yeah, contact me if you want tickets. I would love to help you. And just so you know, this is also on. We do this on podcast, and we repost it for you guys to watch later too. So that's why Neon Starship's asking questions too. But I want to find out for you, Neon Starship, like the exact details. I want to make sure I tell you correctly. We all do want to make sure we tell you correctly what it is.
So the level 1 is not badges, so you have to buy them
Right.
separately. So
Correct.
that's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know why it's not on there. I'll call Lori tomorrow
So
and ask what the deal is.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say, I know that you get one. If it's your first year, you get one for free. That's the way it's always been, unless they're not doing that anymore. So that's kind of questionable too. Like if they're a first time member, our first year we got our badge for free, or one of our badges for free, if I remember correctly. So we upgraded to the level 2 to get 2 badges, because it was so much cheaper just to do that. And we got all the other benefits too. So that's why I want to let people know, what do you really get? And I think we kind of went over this last year too, and it was kind of confusing. So it'd be nice
And
if we could.
we had a meeting on it. I thought we had gotten it solved, but it looks like it hasn't. So
So also, I'm not logged in right now. So if I were to log in, my view might be a little bit different because I'm not logged in as a member right now. So I don't want to log in and have all my personal information posted right here.
Yeah,
So
don't.
that's why
Right.
I'm logged in.
I don't blame you.
So
Yeah.
yes. So, but once you're a member, then you should also see the options to buy the show floor passes, or they might not be on the website yet. But
Well, and
the,
also the nice thing about that back end is that you can see all the different suppliers ahead of time. So if you're looking for their information, you can get a hold of them. And they have the ability to put specials in there. I don't think any of them have been utilizing it, but that's hopefully something I've been trying to get them to do. And then also we're working on videos, and just something we're trying to get there. So, but there's other
Nice.
stuff back there. So if you become a member, you can explore that back end.
But yes, Neon, the badges are your tickets for admittance, and you can buy those through the website with a level 1 membership, but it's a separate cost.
Mhm.
We'll
To
have
the
more
show.
information next week. Yes.
Yep. So, and then what's funny, or what people don't know too, is that if you are a amusement operator member, like everything's like double the cost than what MBVA is. So you're
Plus,
actually also good.
you
What was
you
that?
pay for your all. Sorry, you're probably getting to that. You pay for all of the seminars. I just can't get over it. It's like insane how
Yeah.
expensive some of them are.
Yeah, and their seminars I don't think are as good as ours. Like the list of them, like I thought last year I might want to go check out a couple of them, and I wasn't impressed with what they were offering, as their seminars to big amusement operators and FECs and stuff. And I'm like, we actually learned more from you and your seminar on marketing and merchandising in
You
that
know,
45 minutes you talked.
it's
Yeah.
kind of funny. I'm not going to drop any names, but there were two individuals that we spent a lot of time talking with last year that are members of both the AMOA and the NBVA, and they thought that the AMOA seminars would be more related to what they were information they were looking for. And you might realize who I'm talking about as we go through this, but they went and they said that they wished they would have spent the time at the NBVA seminars because they thought after they sat through those AMOA seminars that it just wasn't the value that they thought it was going to be, that they wished they would have spent the time with the
Yeah.
NBVA seminar instead.
One of them, we gave away one of their machines in the past.
You're not supposed to put that information.
I didn't say they don't know. I didn't narrow it down. That's if people are smart, they'll figure it out. But I didn't say who it was. But it's true because
I mean,
a
I've
lot
heard
of
that
these.
from other people that have been members with us historically
Sure.
and went over there for like a year and then have always come back because they're like, there's so much more knowledge in this room that our people are willing to get up there and do a good presentation versus trying to sell us something. Or, I mean, I'm not talking bad about them. It's also very different topics. Like, I'm a part of the Oregon AMOA and I'm a part of it so that I know what's going on. But when they do their seminars at our yearly, we have 2 meetings a year, they don't apply to me at all.
Mhm.
And I feel like if some of those guys came to our seminars, some of their machines would look a lot better.
Well, I think
And
that you're right
yeah,
in the fact that we in the MBVA, it's not bulk vending 100% like it used to be either. So
yeah,
a lot of the route operators that are doing it now are doing cranes. They're doing a lot of different types of vending besides bulk vending. And so a good example is like I told you on Thursday, sitting down with Bill, in that booth, and like the 30 plus years of knowledge, learning from somebody that they run their own route and they are big, big time people into MBVA. Like that's the people you want to meet. Those are the people that you want to get into the industry with and learn from, that you could, and they'll sit down and talk to you and have a conversation. And the same with the distributors. They want to help and they're all friends and everybody gets along and it's a comfortable situation. So that's what we're hoping for. Right, Matt?
Totally. Totally. Totally.
So yeah. But yeah, so I think that MBVA is by far the side you want to be on. The membership is less expensive. You don't pay for all the extra tidbits and parts and everything else that go along with it. You get everything all rolled into one package. They have the group rate on the hotel. I know like 720 Vending, he's already got his hotel booked. Natalie just got the email. I know we're booking our hotel probably this
Yeah,
week, next week.
720. He got lucky. He signed up for the players card, which I also did, but he got an email about a discounted rates, and I did not get that email. I might have to call them and be
I
like,
didn't get an email either, but we didn't gamble while
WTF.
we were in there. But he got a really
but
good rate.
it's an algorithm that looks at certain things. So, like some hotels want younger people, some want older people, or they
Mm.
play certain games and that they want to try to pull those people in because the game. So, there's a lot to it. And so, I don't get emails that my dad gets, and I get emails that he doesn't get. Or I'll get letters in the mail, come stay here for $10 a night that he doesn't get, or he usually gets free rooms, but it really depends. Like there's a casino in Oregon that they like old people, and I always give him shit because I'm like, they're just having you come because you're old. That it doesn't matter about gambling. It's that you're old. So
I had the best time hanging out with your dad, Jen. Like I love your
I
dad to
know, I
death.
know.
he's
and
pretty fun.
and I mean, going to breakfast with him, going to dinner with him, and hanging out, and just the amount of knowledge he
He's
has, and
He is very smart and he's very well read. He's always reading something. He's always trying to better himself, and I think that that's I look up to that because I really appreciate that he's always trying to make our business better, and he's always trying to make what he is doing better, more efficient, and just more worldly. So yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. I got to hang out with him today a little bit, so. I'm pretty
I
dang lucky.
I think he's also extremely loyal. You know, that's the thing that I've got from him is that we're going on 4 years now of knowing you and him, and he just supports us. You know, like hanging out with him, he's like, Jonathan, you know, like he's brutally honest in a good way of, you know, he's like, I love that you do this, but this is not right. You need to fix this. You need to, and it's like, but in a good way where I'm like, damn, you're right. You know, why are you so smart? Like and then and he goes like, oh, you know, or I've been doing it this, you know, I've been turning this way for 20 years, and that's how you do it. And I'm like, where were you like 3 months ago? And I was trying to, you know what I mean? Like the knowledge and the help that he
Well, and I
provides
think
is just,
that in this industry, it is about loyalty. It is about when he was like, I don't know if it was the 60s or 70s, but he was a smaller vendor. And at that time, a lot of big companies wouldn't talk to you if you weren't, pulling in tons and tons of money or buying tons and tons of product. You couldn't order from them. You couldn't make an appointment. You wouldn't get invited to the dinners. You wouldn't like they used to have famous people come and sing at the NBVA, and if you weren't in the upper echelon, you weren't invited. And so my dad has always appreciated that, like John Landers, who works for Concord, was always nice to him. My dad was a little fish at the time, and he was always nice to him. And then A&A used to have two companies. They had the one for bigger vendors, and then they had a smaller one. And I forget, I think it was Keith that said, Keith Arnold, that had named the other name. But he has always been loyal to those people because no matter how big or how small, they still treated him with respect and were willing to work with him. Whereas there were a lot of companies that are no longer around that didn't do that. And I
yeah.
think with how times have changed, the smaller vendors are, like I have a good size route, and I know a lot. There's some very big vendors in our organization, but their routes compared to what it was at that time are just very, very small. And so
Mm.
I think that it's amazing how our suppliers cater to all types of people, and they have to, because you never know when the big guys will, fall. So
Well, and
sorry.
I think that's how we feel as the Howard Hospitality Group with your dad because he's willing to take us under his wing and show us, you know, all the ways, you know, this is the way, you know, as they say. So it's like, you
I
know,
have spoken.
but it's like he is that guy and he's just so like I watch him at the show with you and he's still teaching you, but he also knows how smart you are. And I watch him like that whole dynamic of like I know when not to say this to her, and I don't know, but I'm going to show her this, you know. And he kind of throws you little tidbits of information. It's very cool to watch your guys'
Well,
dynamic.
we sat for about 2.5 hours yesterday putting together our Rhode Island order. And we have very different opinions on what's selling, what's not. And I think it's kind of interesting to have an older person in your corner, what's worked for them, over the past, and then what is current. So like bringing those two ideas together, like he's all about the bouncy balls, and he's like, "Oh, get those cheap ones, get the cheap ones." And I'm like, "No, we can get some, but we're getting, some of the good ones to mix together." And so I do appreciate his insight because he's been doing vending since college, and my grandpa was into it, and Um, I mean, things have changed, but they haven't changed all that much. There's
Yeah.
still a lot of similarities, and I think that's what makes a good vendor is we sell cheap shit. And I'm sorry, shit is one of my favorite words, and I'm sorry that if shit offends you, but we are, if you think about it, it we sell rings that cost 10 cents. We make our living on nickel and dime stuff. And being able to make a living on nickel and dime stuff is it shows that you have tenacity. It shows that you can, roll with the punches. If you get kicked out of a place, you go find a new spot. There aren't very many industries where you're selling these little things that cost so little, but they add up. And if you can do that, you can do anything. And I think it takes a special kind of person to be able to have these things in claw machines, go out and find locations. We went over, didn't we? Did we
We
go
are
over?
we are over. Yes, we are
Oh,
over.
I'm sorry, but I think that it takes a special kind of person, and I think that being a part of the NBVA really nurtures that, and you're in a crowd of people that understand the struggle of selling a 10-cent item to make a living or
Yep.
selling a
And they
dollar
support you.
item.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
support you 100%. And that's what, yeah, I was talking about with your dad. It's just very cool. And then you get to go to a show like MBVA and you have the people that have been doing it 30 years and you have the people who have been doing it 6 months. So they're all in one room. And when you go there and you have the person that's only been doing it 6 months, their real job is something totally different. So the idea is that they bring the industry, they can share and bring something new or a new idea or something different that everybody can learn from. And so I think it's a good place to go. I have one super chat I need to do. Then we need to say happy Thanksgiving and all that stuff. So let me do this.
Yes, one last super chat from 720 Vending. It's a $2 super chat. It says, "Good night, everyone, and have a happy Thanksgiving." Thanks, Mike.
Yay. So
Happy
yeah, I want
Thanksgiving.
to happy Thanksgiving. So happy
Yes, happy
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
everybody.
everyone.
Please, your thoughts and your prayers that we don't burn down the house tomorrow, because we really are excited about deep frying a turkey. But I hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We're going to have a good time together. And as you can see, we love our family. We love what we do. And we love you guys. And thank you so much for watching. And then, Matt, do you want to say happy Thanksgiving and take us out?
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We'll see you next week. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Bye, all.